the chances are the pumpkin patch will say, hey, you know what? Thanks for letting us know. You're good. It's fine. But if they don't, or maybe too many people are leaving, I mean, at least he gives the option. But it was a mistake. It's bothering him. He can clear his conscience by giving them a call and try to make it right.
Brother Chef?
So this is the part where I'm supposed to say that it's okay to steal pumpkins? Is that what you're waiting for, Ursula?
Well,
I'm going to go a different route today. One, I would say you don't really need to feel that bad. It's not a huge deal. Yes, it's technically stealing, but if you feel bad about it, your real opportunity here is not to provide recompense to the pumpkin farm for the stolen pumpkin. It's to provide an example to your children.
Thank you.
So if you call them up, you make sure that your kid is right next to you on the phone. Or if that pumpkin patch is nearby, then you drive by with your kid and you do that transaction in person where you say you made a mistake, you fess up to it, and then you try and make it right. So use it as a teaching moment for your kids.
Good one.
Well, you know, first of all, I've never been to a pumpkin patch. I see it.
Need to go.
Well, it's all popular now. Like, oh, look at us. We're taking pictures and we're getting muddy. And anyways, I've never been.
They're very cute, especially with little kids.
But yo, so let me get this straight. $9 to get in?
Yeah,
And then you gotta pay for the pumpkin? Yo, they making big bank.
Not true. Not
Pumpkin
true.
patches are great. If you want to spend $25 for a pumpkin you could buy for $4 at Safeway.
Okay, you
However,
guys
the
are,
experience is fantastic.
yeah, you guys are missing. Yeah, no, see, you guys are missing the point. Have you been? Okay, so we used to go Remlinger Farms in I think it's Carnation. Okay, people are gonna correct me, but anyway, it's over on the east side. We went when both boys were, you know, maybe up until they were 7 or 8. Cutest darn pumpkin patch. It's an all-day experience. It's not just about getting great pictures. They have little plays. They have, you know, cute little food stands. They have different rides. That costs money. They have to employ people. So yeah, you're gonna pay $9 or whatever it is to go in. Okay, but let's talk about the bigger picture on this one. Has there ever been a time when something like this has happened, you realize, oh, wait, I got, you know, too much change back, or, you know, this was a big, she gave me credit for a big bill and my big bill wasn't that big. Are you someone who actually goes back into the store and makes that correction, or do you go, oh, well, it's my lucky day?
I go back and make that correction because I'd be scared of karma. Now, here's what I'll make it even tougher. I'll throw this one back on you.
Okay.
Have you guys ever got your direct deposit or a check from your job, your employer, and you're like, and you look, I mean, you get that check or that direct deposit, it's a little extra, and the first thing you do is look behind you, see if anybody looking, and you're wondering like, okay, I got extra on my check. And I don't know about this. What do you do in those situations? Because I'm going to tell you right now, everybody's like, oh, you know what, I immediately go to HR. No, you don't. Because let me tell you what I did one time. One time I said, oh boy, there's something extra on my check. Hey, Ursula. Hey, Ursula, you got anything? She's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh,
Yes.
man, what do I do now?
Yeah, well, and as it turned out, then we found out. So I did go and find out, and it turned out it was rightfully put in there.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So, so those are the things, like, when you get some extra in your check, you're like, hey, what I do is I hold that money to the side, and that way when they get ready to come get it, yep, here you go. Coming up next, Agree to Disagree, it's Gene Ursula.
It was a weekend of chaos and looting.
We're here for what happened.
What were supposed to be planned peaceful protests were co-opted by bad actors.
The governor's plan to gradually reopen Washington state's economy.
People are going back on with their lives. Here for what's happening.
Lauren Culp, your Republican gubernatorial candidate.
There's a rule book that our government has to follow. It's called the Constitution of the State of Washington. And I don't know if Jay Inslee's ever read it.
Cairo Radio, here for what's next.
Have you been to Burlington lately? They have incredible deals on amazing brands and styles at up to 60% off other retailers' prices. No coupons or sales, just fabulous values every single day. It's a treasure hunt with new bargains always arriving and savings that'll surprise you. At Burlington, you get more for less. From seasonal style to cozying up your home, this is your one-stop shop for fall. Go to Burlington.com to find your store. Burlington, love the deals.
Cleanings, checkups, and cavities? Have Dr. Chang's dental practice at capacity.
Patient in room 1 is getting a root canal. The x-rays in room 2 are going to have to wait. We're down to 1 hygienist.
It's time to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Indeed delivers 2.5 times more hires than the other branded job sites combined, according to Breezy HR 2019. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first job post. Terms and conditions apply.
If you need to hire, you need Indeed. You instantly get a list of quality candidates from Indeed's resume database the moment you sponsor a job. Get started at Indeed.com/credit.
Hartley and Brent Wilcox on the new mobile pasture eggs from Wilcox Family Farm.
Hartley, you worked with our new mobile pasture barns. Tell us what mobile pasture means.
Well, mobile pasture is using a big tractor to pull the barns to new pasture each week. So the hens have fresh, green, nutritious grass to eat every day.
Why is that important?
Well, hens can get about 35% of their diet from the grass and bugs in the pasture. So before they pick one area clean, we just hook the tractor up and move it to fresh green grass.
And the fresh grass makes for the most amazing colored yolks.
At Wilcox Farms, we have over 500 acres of organic pasture land that ensures we never run out of fresh Northwest grass for our hens.
Always check the carton to make sure it's local.
When you see Wilcox, you know it's local, you know it's fresh.
Wilcox is the only local mobile pasture in the Northwest.
You really have to see videos of how it works.
And you can at wilcoxfarms.com.
Remember, the grass is always greener at Wilcox Farms.
Luxury without cost. Turbo for performance. All-wheel drive and top safety rated. That's what Mazda is today. To feel how fun a Mazda is to drive, visit us at Puyallup Mazda, South Tacoma Mazda, or Olympia Mazda. Driven a Mazda yet?
It was a time of optimism. Businesses were growing and the American dream was alive. But a health and economic crisis lay in wait, threatening our security and prosperity. Businesses struggled to survive and support their employees. The weight was on their shoulders. Insperity was built for times like this. We've provided confidence amid the chaos, restoring the indomitable spirit of the American entrepreneur, together rising above. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Walking is one of my favorite things to do when I need to clear my mind, and I just read this new study that says 30 minutes a day can also help reduce your risk of high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and heart disease. But if nagging foot pain is keeping you from getting those steps in, do what I did and start wearing Good Feet arch supports. Hi, this is Ursula Reutin. I discovered Good Feet's 3-step system several years ago now, and it has been a game changer. Good Feet's arch supports fit into just about every shoe I already own, and they allow me to keep moving without having to worry about awful foot, leg, or back pain. Right now, you can schedule an appointment at goodfeet.com, or you can also walk into one of their stores, get a free personalized fitting, and a free test walk right on the spot. You will notice a big difference right away. There are now 4 convenient locations near you in Linwood, South Center, and their newest stores in Tacoma and Tumwater. Or you can always go to goodfeet.com.
Hi, this is Dave Ross, and I know what kind of roof you want, the kind with 0 leaks. So ask State Roofing about their 000 sale. 0 down, 0 interest, 0 payments for 12 months. And the best part, 0 leaks.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
A plan to build housing for homeless families that use Everett's public schools is voted down.
KIRO FM Tacoma, Seattle. Here for What's Next. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Peter King in Orlando. With Election Day closing in fast, it's a battleground day for the incumbents. President Trump has a late afternoon rally at the Villages just north of here, and another tonight in Pensacola, both solid Republican areas. Vice President Pence is near Toledo.
I know that Ohio and America need 4 more years of President Donald Trump,
in the White House. But the impact of all of this is somewhat questionable. The U.S. Elections Project says more than 50 million Americans have already voted early or by mail. CBS News election law expert David Becker.
We've never seen anything like this in American history.
Correspondent Nicole Killian says the Trump and Biden campaigns are hoping to win minority voters.
Black men have increasingly become a coveted target of both campaigns in the run-up to Election Day.
Show up.
Show out.
And vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris.
Joe Biden's policies destroying millions of black lives.
President Trump and former Vice President Biden defended their records on race during Thursday night's debate. Both campaigns have unveiled specific plans appealing to the estimated 30 million eligible African-American voters.
Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett is expected to be confirmed on Monday. Right now, it's pretty much the last stand for Senate Democrats angry about the process. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
The Republicans, as we all know, as the nation knows, are running the most partisan, most hypocritical, least legitimate process in the history of Supreme Court nominations.
Mississippi's Attorney General has asked the High Court to review that state's 15-week abortion ban. CBS's Kate Smith.
Mississippi's ban is one of 2 abortion-related cases that are currently awaiting the Supreme Court's decision on whether to hear them. If the court declines to hear those, another 17 are just one step away.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says there has been some progress, but it's unclear just how much there's been made toward a COVID relief package deal. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin.
We've been speaking to the Speaker. I would say we've offered compromises. The Speaker on a number of issues is still dug in. If she wants to compromise, there will be a deal.
In another deal that was brokered by the Trump administration, Israel and Sudan have agreed to normalize relations.
In a diplomatic success that is also linked to Sudan's pledge to pay U.S. terror victims and their families several $100 million in compensation for 1998 bombings of U.S. embassies.
CBS News foreign affairs expert Pamela Falk. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 104 points. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
The hunt for the Asian giant hornet nest is over. We'll have that good news after traffic with Emery Martin.
Well, crews in Renton are still working to clear a collision northbound 405 at the Maple Valley Highway. It's sitting off to the shoulder, but if you're using that route right now, just tack on an extra 5 minutes. I don't have anything reported northbound 5 blocking in Tacoma, but it's really packed in right now between State Route 16 and the Puyallup River Bridge. I'll keep you posted if something does pop up. We're seeing some slowing right now as you work your way northbound 405 again through the S-curves, and a little bit of a delay 167 out of Sumner, the Seattle Bremerton ferry on a 40-minute delay. Chains required over Stevens Pass. This report sponsored by the Office of the Secretary of Elections Division. Still need to register to vote. Visit votewa.gov to register by October 26th. That's votewa.gov. It's your Cairo Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Emery Martin.
Now, from the Cairo Radio News Center at mynorthwest.com.
The Department of Agriculture has found the first Asian giant hornet nest in East Blaine. Cairo Radio's Chris Sullivan says this is big news.
They've been searching for these nests up in Whatcom County around Blaine for the better part of the last couple of months. And the reason is they want to try to eradicate them before mating season finishes and before they get through what they call the slaughter phase of their lifetime, which means that's when they go out and kill all the bees that we need and take over their nests and whatnot. Now this means they could go and at least get this one nest and maybe find whatever else is out there. This is what they've been trying to do all year long, and they've got it done.
Crews plan to destroy the nest tomorrow. Can't do it today because of weather, and there is video of this nest on mynorthwest.com. A local police review board says 3 Seattle officers used excessive force while arresting protesters this summer. Seattle's acting police chief is not saying yet if those officers will remain on the force. One officer slammed a protester's head to the ground, another punched a demonstrator repeatedly, and the third put his knee on the necks of 2 looting suspects to detain them. The Office of Police Accountability has received thousands of complaints since protests began in May. It has released findings for about a dozen cases, ruling against officers in about half of them. A 19-year-old Washington man is in jail. He is accused of hatching a plan to kill Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden. Cairo 7 TV's Michael Spears says the man was found with several guns.
Court documents say he bought one of those guns here in Washington state, and the investigation later revealed he allegedly conducted internet searches about Joe Biden's home address, gun laws, night vision goggles, bought an AR-15 in New Hampshire allegedly, and even traveled to a Wendy's within 4 miles of Joe Biden's home with a checklist allegedly stating that execute was on it.
The man was arrested in North Carolina after his van was towed, and he showed up to get it back. Your Cairo radio weather forecast, a small chance of showers this morning. That chance increases later this afternoon, but a dry and cold weekend on tap. 44 and cloudy right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Lacey Evans.
For breaking news, highlights, podcasts, and more, download the Cairo Radio app. Cairo Radio, here for what's next.
This is the G and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Oh, good morning, Ursula.
Good morning, G. Hey, everybody.
Happy Friday. Are you glad it's Friday, Ursula?
You know the answer.
Hey, before we get to agree to disagree, I just want to let and remind you, because I know you'd already had it planned, and I know your alarm clock was set. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., I already know, just reminding you that you'll be watching the Ohio State kickoff on Fox.
It hasn't been on your mind at all, has it?
Okay, so I'm trying to explain. It feels like Christmas Eve, okay? Feels like Christmas Eve right now for tomorrow. But here's the difference. It's Christmas Eve, but you have no idea what kind of gifts you're going to get tomorrow.
How many people have been asking you, are you expecting him to play much? Does that make you nervous, or like, what are you feeling?
No. When people ask me that, I just want to tell them, like, I don't think you understand how this works. Like, this isn't like Pee Wee League or kid football or high school football. This is it. Like, I don't know if he's going to play. He might be out there. First of all, he's dressing. That's the first accomplishment. Like, that is great. The fact that he's dressing tomorrow, he's going to get to come out of the tunnel. Now,
that's huge.
That's big. Now, if he's going to get to play, I don't know. So I'm just setting you up. So he's number 13. You'll recognize him because he has a lot of hair that comes out of his helmet, right?
And he is really big now. He has grown.
Oh, he's a big dude. Yeah. He's 6'3", 215. But I don't. So when people ask me, I've seen some texts come in and they say, "Hey, so is he going to play?" I've had some messages sent to me. So the answer is this: I really don't know. He might, or he might not. We'll see. So that's why this Christmas Eve feels normal, because I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. All I know is he'll be out there on the field.
Very fun.
All right, Ursula, let's fight. It's time to agree to disagree.
One of these days, we just got to take off the gloves. Just really go at it.
Oh, speaking of Christmas Eve, folks do have some holiday shopping to start getting to, I don't know, in the next month or so. And so Target has announced that shoppers can now make reservations to avoid the holiday crowds. Ursula, are you making reservations to go shopping?
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? No. If I have to make reservations, I'm just not going to shop there, because that's just too much planning. So much of the fun for me when it comes to shopping is just to do it spontaneously and to find those little bits of time, because I don't have a ton of time, where I can squeeze it in. If I have to actually do a reservation, that's just never going to happen. No.
Ursula is the reason why people impulse buy. You see, when you don't make reservations, and oh yes, by the way, I love this idea of making reservations. I love the idea of making a list, and that way you check it twice, and you find out if buyers like Ursula are naughty or nice. And what ends up happening is when you go there on an appointment, you know exactly what you're going to go there to get. So anybody out there with a significant other that loves to impulse buy, get them on a reservations type of deal. That will help them. So yes, Chef, I am all for reservations. I love this idea.
Can I confess about something? Every single year I say I'm going to start earlier when it comes to Christmas shopping. Every single year. And not a single year has gone by when I haven't been still shopping on Christmas Eve.
What's going to happen first? G paying his car tabs or you finishing your Christmas shopping?
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Wait. That was an opportunity to continue slamming on Ursula. So what do? You bring me into it.
Hey, it's all about both of you. Let's move on to New York and another question about the ethics of money and what you should do. So, Balthazar, they had a $2,000 bottle of wine that they accidentally gave to a table who'd ordered one that cost $18. Yes, they accidentally switched decanted bottles of wine, so you can see the label. One was a Chateau Mouton Rothschild, the other the cheapest Pinot on the menu. Waiters realized the mistake after the couple who got the $2,000 wine started drinking it. The manager said, oh my gosh, you know what? This is unthinkable that I would take back this $2,000 bottle of wine. So what he did is let that couple keep the $2,000 bottle of wine, and then the business guys who'd ordered the expensive one, they just paid $18. He fessed up, told them both. Apparently everyone left happy. Gee, if you accidentally give someone a $2,000 bottle of wine, and the other table is happy with the $18 one, you gonna fess up?
Absolutely gonna fess up, and you know, this should be a big incentive to fess up, because when you do fess up to a story like that, there's a good chance that it's gonna be news and talked about all the way in Seattle. So yes, I'm gonna fess up. Not only is it the right thing to do, but it is also the right thing to show a good part of being a good person.
Okay, exactly. Okay, so we're gonna agree to agree, but there are a couple of details in this story that were actually very funny, including the fact that, okay, so the people who bought the hoity-toity bottle of wine, $2,000 bottle. Okay, so they're businessmen. I'm guessing that they were going to expense it, but in any case, they were drinking away and they were saying like, wow, this is just really good stuff, even though it was the cheap bottle. But they were demonstrably saying, this is just great. And then meanwhile, when the I think it was a younger couple with the $18 bottle, when they found out it was $2,000, suddenly it tasted oh so much better. I mean, that alone should tell you something, but you're absolutely right. The owner of that restaurant, he's out $2,000. Well, let's just say that's what he's charging. That's not how much it costs. But look at how much goodwill and how much good advertising he's getting. So he's the winner.
He is the winner. I honestly, having worked in restaurants, and restaurants love people with business accounts because they just flash the black card out there and they'll buy whatever's expensive. They don't even know if it tastes good. I'm shocked that there's not actually more fraud when it comes to this.
For sure.
But let's move on. Speaking of fraud, a security researcher says he guessed Trump's Twitter password, took control of the account for a couple hours. Turns out it was MAGA 2020 ! No capital letters there. It has since been changed, in case you're checking. Which kind of led me to this thought. G, let's say we're working in studio here, and I need to get something out of your phone, a number for a guest that we're missing. Are you comfortable unlocking your phone and handing it over to me?
Is there a bad connection?
Wait, hello.
Is there a bad connection? Hey, Chef, let me tell you something, fam. I'll let you go through my medical records first before you can go through that. So there's your answer.
I have handed over my phone, and I have given Chef my password. Hey, here's my phone.
3 times now. I have it written on my desk. She gave it to Chris Sullivan, said, go through my photo gallery.
No, she didn't.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Ursula, wow, that is some big time trust.
There is nothing in there, but now I'm curious. What do you have on your phone?
Yeah,
that you would rather give your medical records?
You're worried about what you have on there, or you're more worried about my trustworthiness?
All of it. All of it. Hey, Ursula, you said it yourself the other day. You said, G, you keep all the receipts.
You do. You do. I had to ask him about something, and I had to ask him, anyway, do you have evidence of something? And he sent me all these things that I should have had my own copies of, and I didn't. So you're
guys,
right.
I just went up on, look, I pay a storage now of $9.99 to keep all the stuff that's on my phone. I pay $9.99 a month just so I can keep all of the stuff.
But anyway, at some point, though, because remember a few weeks ago we did that story where if someone has to crack your code, like something were to happen, and God, but we don't want anything to happen to you. But if someone had to get into your phone, there would be that possibility. You would need to let someone know your password.
My phone, it already knows. Hold up, Daddy ain't touched us in about a day. Sound the alarm. It self-destructs. It's like Inspector Gadget.
Your entire life is on that phone, for sure.
Speaking of spying on one another, Nextdoor, the site is going to go IPO valued at $4 billion. 1 in 4 U.S. neighborhoods use the platform. Traffic skyrocketed about 80% at the beginning of the pandemic. And as part of going public, they're going to be, putting up these kindness reminders.